The House on Mirror Hill, Part 1. Everyone in the town of Greyhaven had heard the stories about Mirror Hill, a lonely hill just outside town, where the trees grew crooked and the wind always seemed to whisper your name. At the very top sat a house that no one lived in, the McAllister house. Old, wooden, windows broken like shattered eyes. Some said it was haunted. Others said it wasn't real, just a weird illusion you saw in the fog. But everyone agreed on one thing. You don't go there, not after dark, not ever. But teenagers are the worst at listening to warnings, especially 16-year-old Zoe and her best friend Jules. They were horror movie addicts. They ran a podcast called Teens vs. Ghosts, and they had one goal this October. Spend one night in the McAllister house. Record everything. Go viral. Brilliant idea, right? Except it wasn't. Friday night, full moon, 10:03 p.m. They climbed Mirror Hill with flashlights and backpacks, joking the whole way. Bet the ghost has a TikTok, Jules laughed. Bet it's stuck in 2010 and still uses Tumblr, Zoe shot back. The house loomed above them, crooked and huge, like it had grown out of the ground. They pushed the front door open. Creak. The air inside smelled like wet wood and forgotten things. Perfect, Zoe whispered, hitting record on her phone. They explored room after room, dust, cobwebs, mirrors everywhere, cracked and covered in grime. But something felt off. Each mirror they passed showed them slightly different. Zoe noticed it first. In one mirror, she had no shadow. In another, Jules was smiling, but her real face wasn't. Then the house changed. They turned down a hallway that hadn't been there before. The wallpaper was red now. They swore it had been green, and the floor creaked behind them, even when they weren't walking. Did you hear that? Jules whispered. Yeah, someone's following us. They turned around. No one. But the mirrors on the wall, they didn't reflect the hallway. They reflected a different one. A hallway full of people, all standing still, all facing the mirror, all wearing the same clothes as Zoe and Jules. Okay, that's not creepy at all, Zoe mumbled, backing away. Then one of the reflections moved. It blinked, not in sync, not together, and then it smiled, a wide, crooked smile. The real Jules screamed. Zoe dropped her phone. The mirror cracked. Now they were locked in. Every door they tried led back to the same room. The mirrors now showed only darkness, or faces they didn't recognize. One mirror whispered, "Stay with us." Another, "We like your face." And then, "You're already here." Zoe lost track of time. Her watch spun backwards. Jules tried calling 911. The phone screen just showed her own face, with black eyes. They panicked, ran, screamed. No exit, no stairs, no windows. Just mirrors. Endless, endless mirrors. Until Zoe had an idea. This place feeds on fear, she said. It's like a haunted loop, but if we stop playing by the rules. She stared at her reflection, at the pale version of herself in the mirror. Maybe we can break out. Zoe lifted a chair and smashed the biggest mirror. Crash! Light exploded. Screams echoed. The ground shook. And then, silence. They were back in the forest, outside, breathing. Alive. The house was gone. Just mist, trees, wind. But the story doesn't end there. Zoe uploaded the audio to their podcast. It blew up. Everyone wanted to hear more. But the weird thing? When they listened back, they heard a third voice on the tape, whispering in the background. You can leave, but we're still watching. And in the last few seconds of the recording, a faint tap, 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 like fingernails on glass. The end.